All right, I am out here gonna hike the trail, looking for officially looking for limestone pieces, small pieces that I can put in this bag and take home and see what I can do to carve them. It's a hobby that I'm trying to get into, sculpting with rock. Why not? I've got the tools already. And why not? Rocks are free. So I thought I'd make a video and do a little bit of Timblab while I walk this creek bed. Up here, go down and look for rocks. This is in my hometown. Alright. I'm not going to try not to keep this near my mouth because you can hear every breath I take when I do that, and it sounds like I'm really gassed out of it. Now see, that is limestone. Obviously I'm not going to put those in my bag. Limestone, as most of you probably know, is used to be little shellfish, and back in the, like a million years ago, or a long time ago, I'll put a note on it, but used to be living things at the bottom of the ocean. This whole place was underwater. I'm at the Glen in my town, the Glen, Fillmore Glen, and it just slowly all the organic matter in the ocean settled to the bottom and calcified, and after a long time underground, under the water, pressure and heat, it turned into stone. And limestone is preferable for sculpting. Some of it you can carve, it becomes polished like marble. I don't know, I'm going to find out. I hope to. It's just something I've never tried, honestly. I've always appreciated stonework. Well, I'm going to get into it, hopefully. God willing. I don't even know what I'm looking for. But I thought it'd be a good reason to get outdoors today. And it is. Now, I went to church today. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about that. And I want to be very careful not to be judgmental in any way at all if I can help it. Because I'm not judging anybody. But I'm going to the Episcopal Church, St. Matthew's, and I haven't been in there in about 20 years. I used to go. And since then, the Episcopal Church of England, very liberal, too liberal. They've allowed gay marriages. They've got openly gay bishops and priests. Not in my church. But it really divided the church, like the Methodist Church, the whole gay issue. And it split it up. People left, myself included. Which is sad. Because that was such a beautiful church. It used to be full of children and families and worship. And now it's just a few diehards. People there. I came back, so I'm going to hold up here. Some people are going to pass me. Alright, I'm back on. I wanted to let these people pass me, this man and this woman. I don't want to be talking stuff, you know what I mean. So I just let them pass me. Besides, I got to get down here. I'm not going to find rocks, limestone on the path. Well, I probably could, but man, I'm getting old. I used to just walk around with such confidence. Alright, so what little I know, there's a way to test these rocks to see if it's something you want to carve. And it's quite simple. I gotta put my bag down somewhere here. quite simple. You scratch it. So I got something to scratch it with. Doing all this with one hand isn't easy. You know, I don't want anything so soft like soapstone or sandstone. I want limestone. It's soft, but yet it's durable. So, an old throwing knife I've had since my army years. That seems to scratch, I would say, pretty easy. So, yeah. I'm going to take this. Who knows, make something out of it. This is my favorite throwing knife here. Right there. So, they've got a man preacher in there now, which is why I returned. And I know the woman that preached there. They had a woman preaching. And I used to go, and I know what the Bible says about women aren't supposed to be the head of the church. And I'm sorry, but that's in the Bible. And, you know, Apostle Paul wrote it. And I'll put those scriptures up. I'm not trying to be divisive here. I know this woman, and I know her heart was in the right place to serve the Lord. And quite frankly, men aren't stepping up to the plate anymore. But still, it goes against what the Bible says. And, you know, if you're going to say, I like the teachings of Paul, or the Bible, some of it, Paul's books in the New Testament, but yet you're going to just toss out things that he wrote that you don't agree with, I'm sorry, it's to each their own. You can do that, but I'm not going to follow it. And I'm not going to take the Eucharist administered, no, nothing against women, for God's sakes, no. But by a woman priest administering the Eucharist, no, I'm not going to. That's when I left. Oh, there's another guy coming, so I'm going to pause this. So, as I was saying, I'm going to pause this. There's a lot of people out here today for this place, which is a good thing. It's good to see people getting out, getting off, unplugging their everything. I brought this along because I want to make a video, of course. I know this woman, and her heart, I believe, totally in the right place. But I'm sorry, it goes against the teachings of the Bible. As does letting the heads of churches be openly gay. No, I don't support that. And neither do a lot of people. So it's sad because that beautiful church, I'm a young person there now, it's really ripped churches apart. And part of me wants to stay because I'm not one to run away from problems. I'm certainly not going to judge or condemn anybody in there. But at the same time, if I don't believe it's right, I don't believe it's right. But I want to stay anyway. And I know a lot of people in there. And I don't know, I'm praying about it. You know, it's sad. But it's not the first time that sin has slipped into God's church and caused divisions. I think it's always, even in Apostle Paul's time, these things have happened. And I want to say also that men have not stepped up to the plate to be the leaders. They just don't. Especially knife throwing, man. Oop, there's some more people probably saw me do that. Yours truly. Pause. All right, back on. Yeah, people, hikers with their baby and their dog. Yeah, men have not stepped up to the plate, be they knife throwing men or not. But it seems to me, I'm just going to say it as I see it. As I see it. Doesn't mean it's the way or the one answer. Of course. But I'm not implying that. As I see it personally, in my little life. A lot of guys think church or to show love of any sort, especially love to God, enough to commit to it, is unmanly. I think that this head of the household, the spiritual head of the household and the church, is supposed to be a man. And men have dropped the ball. They have. And women are filling that void. And, you know, where there's a vacuum, something else is going to come in. And I'm not saying it's anything evil about women filling the void. There's definitely a place for women in church. Definitely. God has work for women to do. Great work. I'm not saying that. So it's a tricky subject. But I'm not going to dance around it either. So it's just like people are wondering in France, in Europe, Germany, and Britain. People that are indigenous to those countries are wondering where all these outsiders came in, non-Christian outsiders, Muslims and such. Well, you stop going to your churches. Their churches are empty. Those magnificent old buildings that the people love so much to build and used to fill them, they're empty. So that's what you get. Others came in. And I tell people that say they don't like the amount, they don't like seeing their country overrun by Islam. Go back to church, refill your churches. That's what I say. And that's what's happened. I think that men have dropped the ball and, you know, women have stepped up to the plate to lead the church. But still, that's why I stopped going to that church. Respecting the women in there and the woman that led the church then, not anymore, whom I believe to be a devout person with her heart in the right place. But, all right, I'm going down here to look for some rocks while I blab. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking it's sad to see this great church that I used to know full of families and children and God's work. There's nothing left in it but elderly people. And I know specifically when that happened and why, because I was part of the Exodus. And I just said why. You know. So I think I'm going to stick around there and pray about it. I don't know, limestone, honestly. I'm going to learn it. It's just rocks. I don't know if this is limestone up here or not. And I've looked it up. They all look the same. Well, I know this is limestone bed. Yeah, this is limestone for sure. Some of this. This is limestone. Yeah, that's limestone. My diamonds. Gold to me. Wow, look at all the limestone. I can't believe it's just laying around here. Nobody's picking it up. The best things in life are free. Castles are made out of this stuff. So, I'm going to grab some limestone pieces. See, I still have a task to carve that woman's gravestone. It's not going to be something like this. It's going to be better than this. That's too big for my bag. I just want some small pieces. Oh, God. Scratch test. That one scratches harder than the other. Yeah, definitely. See, there's two types of limestone. There's dolomite. That's a grade of limestone. And there's limestone that has strictly almost calcium in it.
Limestone, a sedentary rock made of calcium carbonate. Dolomite, a sedentary rock made of calcium magnesium carbonate. And there it is.
And what sets dolomite apart is that dolomite is a harder form of limestone because it has the same thing as limestone, calcium and something else. I'll post it. But dolomite, which I believe that's what this is, dolomite grade limestone has magnesium in it as well, or manganese. I'm not a geologist. Dolomite's harder. And it's also a dominant stone here. This is definitely harder. I think this is just slate. Yeah, that's slate. This would be limestone. Yeah, that scratches up pretty easy compared to that. Well, I'm going to get a few rocks and do what I got to do. Let's see how it goes. A little bag. I've never done this. This is new. A new hobby. I'm starting to get out of that deep funk I've been in for years now. Since I lost some people, which is understandable. That's just freaking concrete. I don't know what I'm looking for. Yeah, I'm going to keep that one. Maybe I'll make a skull out of it or something. I don't know. Probably won't make anything out of it, honestly. Little pieces. See, I don't know if that's limestone or not. Where did I put my knife? Let's do a scratch test. Scratch is easy enough. I'm gonna have a bag full of rocks to tote back to my car. I have no idea what I'm looking for, folks. Rocks. It's kind of nutty. I don't know what I'm looking for. Yeah. That's got to be limestone. Yeah. I think I got enough. All right, what am I going to do with all these rocks? Hold on. Just back in here. I don't want to fall on that, that's for sure. I've had that knife for like 40 years. That's a Camillus Air Force survival knife. It was issued to me, Army. Even though it's Air Force, but I knew the supply sergeant. And it was made, that knife was made about 30 miles from where I'm standing, in Camillus. The old knife factory that's since shut down, sadly. But that is a Camillus Air Force pilot survival knife. Whatever. My favorite throwing knife. I rarely miss with it. I'm very familiar with throwing it. Alright, up out of this creek bed. God, there used to be nothing walking up here. Yeah, I carved my kids' names in these trees about 30 years ago. Out of shape. I told myself that today. I'm not getting enough exercise. Huh. I don't see them. My daughter's name should be up here. One of these trees. No. Nope. It's gone. Maybe the tree fell, I don't know. not seeing it. Well, it's gone. Odd. Well, I know there's limestone up here where the workers have been doing limestone work, like that piece. Obviously, that's not going in my bag. I think I just needed a couple pieces. Actually, down there looks like some good pieces. They're not going anywhere. Limestone, some of it. I'll go down there and have a look. Get a couple more pieces. And go back. The sun sets in 3 hours. It's almost December. I'll come out here again. There's more bridges and a big waterfall up there. Put this bag down. Better yet. You know, it used to be I'd just jump off there and not think anything of it. Used to be. Used to be. You know, when you're older and you live alone, you learn the hard way usually. See, that's definitely limestone right there, folks. Yeah. Let's scratch it. Let's scratch it. See how it scratches. Give it the scratch test. Scratches nicely. I got this off the internet. Of course, Google has a lot on this. I don't want a piece that big though. I want to try to make figurines. I want to make a cross. Of course, first. That's not hard to figure out. I'm trying to be devout. Nothing wrong with that. I'm not ashamed. Like I said, too many people are, especially men. They're afraid. They don't want devout Christian. No. They ask them if they're Christian, they'll loosely say yes. That's the lukewarm Christian Christ talked about. Useless for his work. Don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy. I'll just leave it at that. I don't know. What do you think? Limestone? Be a smaller piece. I'm going to make a cross out of. That's not. That's shale, I'm pretty sure. There's a piece of dolomite, maybe, or concrete. I don't know what that is. I'll learn if I keep at this hobby. I will learn. I'm brand new at this. Brand new. That is to say, I'm brand spanking new. There you go. Make a good cross. If I can make a cross out of this. And polish it. I'm gonna walk around here a little bit. I got some stories about this place, some of which I won't tell. Again, I don't tell everything on here. Nothing shamefully, criminal or immoral. I'm not hiding anything really. But that said, I don't need to tell everything either. We all have our personal lives. Sure, the Apostle Paul, even Christ, has personal life. Look at that set right on this rock. Like somebody put it there for me. Been there a while too, look. The moss didn't grow there. Ooh, I'll do something with that, folks. I think that was put there for me. Same with this one. This would be a good figurine, perhaps. Alright, I got the rocks I want. I'm going home. I'm going to have me a spaghetti dinner tonight. At least that's the plan. Sausage, basil, peppers, onions, green onions. All that kind of stuff. And of course a salad. Alright folks, I got enough rocks. Now I gotta start working. I gotta start doing what I said I was gonna do. Instead of just walking out here and picking up rocks. Time to put those tools to use and learn the craft. Learn the craft. That didn't come out right. That's one I want. A little one like that. Make something out of it. One time I was throwing knives down here. Imagine that. This is like 30 years ago. Before I even lived here, I used to come here on leave in the Army. Visit my mom, my dad. And I threw my knife and it just went sailing. I totally lost it in the stream bed. I mean, it was gone. It landed in the water. And like years later, about 2 years later, I was walking this trail and I just saw something glint in the water. And there it was. My knife. And I lost it again at some point because I don't have it. Maybe it was this bridge where I carved my daughter's name. Actually, now that I think of it, I'll go up here and see. I think it was. I think I had the wrong bridge. There's like 7 of them on this trail. Yeah, I think I got enough rocks. This bag's getting heavy. Good for me, right? Folks, when the snow melts in April, March, April, this fills right up completely. Dangerous. Yeah, there's her name. And there's Kyle's name. I put that there. Back when I was a young man, I put that there. I should have left that alone, but all right. Well, I'm gonna head back. God willing, I'll come out here again. It's a shame I haven't been out here much this year. I used to come out here just about every day. spiritual and physical exercise and rest, whatever. I've been so wrapped up in depression, and understandable. The two people I love the deepest, and my dog, just like that, gone. And of course, the two people I'm talking about have returned to tell me they love me in their way, but they have. I saw them. You know the stories. That's extremely comforting. But then again, it stays with me because I know that they're on the other side of the veil waiting for me, along with our Lord and others. So part of me longs to go home. I don't have a problem with the being dead and on the other side part. I have a problem with dying. I had a doctor tell me that I had a very high tolerance for pain, which I don't know if that's true or not. But it's not something I look forward to. Like 99% of people and animals and of all sort. Not just people. Imagine the Indians used to walk this all the time. Wonder what they look like walking up this stream. Not that long ago, really, when this was their land. Here it would have been the Cayugas, part of the Iroquois tribe. Once they were here. Once they were here. You know, I used to run this trail, like 3 miles of it, starting up on that ridge, and it goes up there a ways, comes out to a reservoir, and then you could either follow that ridge or I'd come down here and run this, which is, you got to be careful. There's so many places that even a very fit, agile person, as I once was, can trip on these things like this. All through here. And there's a few places where you could trip and fly off a cliff. I fell a bunch of times, didn't think much of it, till one time I almost flew off a cliff, and that's when Voice of Reason kicked in and said, stop doing this. If you want to keep working out, enjoying this trail, do it wisely. Walk it real fast, very brisk pace. And if that's not enough for you, put some weights on, which I did. I used to really try to stay in shape when I was younger. Then you get older, you get injuries, you get excuses. I should have come out here more. But like this hobby, and I've got a new hobby that I'm kind of excited about. Sculpting in stone. Been doing it for thousands of years. You know, which is very, very basic tools. And I've got basic tools. And I got a Dremel with about every gadget you could want for it. And I know how to use it. The only thing missing is motivation and time. And we don't know how much time we have, do we? So, I better get to it. I want to make a cross on a set, like a set, with 3 crosses. And see if polishing them up some. And then I want to make possibly figurines, like what you see on my table. Maybe some candlestick holders. I don't know. I'm going to make some heads. I thought I'd make like soldiers' heads throughout with their helmets and make them so you could put a candle in it so their eyeballs light up in their mouth and have some fun with it. Now I always walk this I'm not going to do that right now because my hands are full. And I'll be darned if I want to take a fall. I got priorities. My life right now is health, car, and work. I mean, other than spiritual priorities. Well, folks, I'm going to sign off. God bless y'all. Till next time, if there be a next time.